on. We are live. All right, guys, let me pin my video real quick. And we are good to go. So we are starting to finally work with some actual division today. No more estimating, although estimation is part of our long division process. And today's essential question is, how can you divide by multiples of 10? So we're going to be dividing by having a divisor that's a multiple of 10, but we are not going to have a dividend that is a perfect multiple of 10. So we're really working on our long division today. Let's take a look at a word problem. Thank you to Patrick for sending in a Bitmoji for us to use for our word problem for today. Patrick is training for a pull-up contest against the fourth graders. He can complete 168 pull-ups in 20 minutes. Very impressive, Patrick. I can't even do one. How many pull-ups is Patrick averaging per minute? So, what in this word problem tells us, aside from us knowing that we're working in a division chapter, what clues tell us that we're going to divide? I'm sorry? What tells us that we're going to need to divide?
Well, other than the what we're doing it, I think since it's giving us the answer.
It is, right? It's
No.
telling us the total amount of pull-ups that Patrick can do. That number's not going to increase, right? The total amount of push-ups that Patrick can do are 168 in 20 minutes. So we know that since we're not going to be increasing that number, we're not finding any kind of total amount, that we cannot be multiplying. In this case, we're splitting those 168 push-ups into 20 minutes to find out how many pull-ups per minute we're going to be doing for this problem. All right, so with that in mind, let's find out what Patrick's average is. Why don't we take a moment now? On your whiteboards, how would you solve this equation?
Sorry, it says my dog's chasing her tail.
Resume recording. All right, guys, so let's use our standard algorithm, and from what I saw on everyone's boards, our equation is going to be 168 divided by 20. As always, our first step, which can be done mentally, is to estimate. So we're going to take our basic facts first and look at them. In our divisor, remember when we estimate, we're going to be looking at just our basic fact of 2 and ignoring that 0 for a minute. And then we look at what in our dividend can be used in that 2 times table. And in that case, we know 2 can't go into 1, but it can go into 16. Now let's add in our zeros, shall we? For our estimation, we're going to keep that 20, focusing on the basic fact of 2. And we're going to change that 168 to a
170.
Oh, well, in the 2 times table that we could probably use easily without kind of.
160.
Let's try 160, right? Focus on just that 16. And 160 divided by 20 is 8 because our zeros cancel out. So our estimate is going to be 8 for our quotient. Let's keep that in mind as we approach the full standard algorithm. My apologies with the animation here. That shouldn't have popped up yet, but all right. First step, write our estimate down. And then we have our long division steps. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers raw?
Maybe.
Zombie mode again. All right. Division, multiplication, subtraction, check, bring down, and repeat. Repeat. Let's set up our problem. 168 is our dividend. It goes inside the house. 20 is our divisor, goes outside the house, and we have 3 digits in our dividend, so we've got to have a possibility of 3 digits in our quotient. So let's begin with that very first step, divide. We ask ourselves, can 20 be divided into 1?
No.
No. cannot. Can 20 go into 16?
No.
Yes.
No.
20.
No.
Can 20 go
No,
into
no.
16? Not. I know you guys are
No.
basic fact, but can
No.
20 go into 16? No.
No.
16 is too small for 20 for us to get a 20 out of it. So we can't. Which means our answer is going to have how many digits?
1 digit.
One digit.
1/4.
So we're going to have to do the full 168 divided by 20. The full amount. Now, guys, it shouldn't be a guessing game. This is where we look at our estimate. So we need a 1-digit answer. Our estimate was 1 digit. Instead of starting all over again, we're going to use just our estimate and see if it works. If we could get something closer, then we'll change it. But for now, let's use that 8 as our possibility. So let's use that 8 and multiply. As I said before, we're going to attempt with our estimate first and make sure that we don't get an overestimate, right? So if some of us wanted to change that 168, remember when we were rounding to a 180, which means our estimate would have been 9. Would that be an overestimate or an underestimate?
Over.
And we can't go over in division. So lucky for us that we used 160 when we were rounding. And now let's test it out. 20 times 8 gives us 160. That's definitely the closest we're going to get. If we had done 20 times 9, we'd get 180, which is too much. All right, so now we've multiplied, we get 160. Subtract to see if we have any remainders. 168 minus 160 equals 8.
808.
Now we have to check, guys. Our remainder cannot be larger than our divisor. Look at the 8, look at the 20. Is 8 less than 20?
Yes.
Yes, it's less than 20, which means that we are in the clear to move to our next step, right? We don't want a remainder that is 20 or larger because that means that our dividend could have been divided by 20 another time. Anything to bring down?
No.
No, nothing to bring down. And instead of repeat, we get remainder, and we have a remainder of 8.
8.
So our final answer is going to be 8 remainder 8. But with division, we have the potential to 100% check if this is correct. First, we kind of just eyeball it and we check for reasonableness. So we're looking at our estimate. We're looking at our actual quotient. Is our answer reasonable?
Yes.
Yes, thinking like Spock, it is very reasonable because it is super duper close to our estimated quotient. Our estimate was 8. Our actual answer was 8 remainder 8. So we can see that our answer makes sense, which is what we're figuring out when we check out for reasonableness. Now let's check the actual answer and see if it works by using our inverse operation. We're going to check our work by multiplying our quotient times our divisor, and we should get our dividend. So here's our quotient of 8 and our divisor of 20. 20 times 8 gives us 160. What do we do next? We're supposed to get 168.
We add 8, the remainder.
Right, add any remainders. We had a remainder of 8, add that on. We get 168. Our dividend's 168. We are good to go. Our answer is 100% correct. Now, here's my final question for you. That solves our equation. It does not solve our problem. In real life, if I was trying to figure out Patrick's average for pull-ups, I wouldn't say he averages 8 remainder 8. That's not how you solve a real world problem. What would we have to say? What would we have to say? Well, maybe Patrick could tell us.
Probably around, or the average is 8 remainder 8 or something.
So what would you say is your average though?
8 per.
Yeah, you would say I can do about 8 pull-ups per minute, which is
Per
impressive. That's impressive, guys. I can't do
Yes.
that per hour.
I can't even do one.
Same. Well, I can do about like. three.
Good job, Patrick.
I
Yeah.
You're
can't.
superhuman.
I'm so weak. I can't even do
I have
zero.
zero
Patrick, if you
upper
can do that,
body
you
strength.
should be the super Mr. Universe.
Oh my gosh, no.
What?
Can you tell me the
I'm
so
Mr.
weak.
Universe.
Become
Look how
Galactus.
much I'm sweating after 8. I can barely like survive more.
All right, guys. So,
Dude, I couldn't survive
Alright.
one. I couldn't survive 0. That's how weak I
okay, so let's jump into some practice problems. You're going to be working with me on page 126 in your textbooks to follow along. And let's get started on some of those guided practice questions. Shall we? All right.
am.
I still have my board set up, as you can tell, for long division with all of my beautiful Post-its so I can follow the steps as we go through them. All right, our first unspoken step is to estimate. So let's take our first problem, 30. Oh, marker doesn't like me. 30 into 345. All right. When we estimate, we're going to look at whatever basic facts we can and change our dividend and divisor to help us out. So if we saw 345 divided by 30, the first number we look at is our divisor. Box that 3. And now I can look at my dividend. Can 3 go into 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Only 0 one time.
Right, it goes in one time, but hold on. Remember, this is not really a 3, so we're changing this to a 300 divided by 30. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and we cancel 0, and we get 1, 0 is 10. Does anybody see a closer estimate?
Yes.
What do we see?
330, because 330.
Yes! That's going to give us a good answer,
30
but I
times-
think we can get closer because 3 can also go into 34. If you know your 3 times table very well, you know that you could get what?
330.
33
Well, yeah, 30
from your 3 times table.
3.
Annex your zeros.
30, and then you get
33 divided by 3?
11. Wait.
11. What happens with those 2 zeros?
You cancel annex.
They cancel out,
Cancel
right?
each other out.
They're not really canceling out. We're not really crossing them out. What we're really doing is doing mini division problems inside of our division problems. So we're doing 330 divided by 10 and 30 divided by 10, which gave us 33 divided by 3, which is an equivalent equation. It's going to give us the same answer, same value. All right, so our estimate to keep in mind is 11. Now, I wrote all of that out just to show you the thought process behind estimation, but a lot of the estimation process could be done with mental math. Just make sure that you have an estimate to start out with, because that'll really help you with solving for the actual quotient. All right, we have a possibility of 3 digits in our quotient. First step is to divide. Can 30 go into 3?
No.
No.
It's 2. It's
Can
like 10
30
bigger.
go into 34?
Yes.
How many times?
1.
1.
Once.
Times.
And guess what? That's all we need to focus on right now. Just the 34. Look at our estimate. 1 was the first digit we picked before, so we're good to go. All right, multiply. 30 times 1 is 30. Subtract 34 divided by 30. I'm sorry,
4.
4. Check. Is this remainder less than our divisor?
Yes.
Yes, good to go. All right, bring down. We're going to bring down our 5, and I meant to start a nice new color. So we're bringing down, and now we have a new dividend. Yay! Repeat, and when we repeat, we start our brand new division problem. Yay! All right. Divide 30 into 45. How many times can 30 go into 45? Only once.
1.
Because 30 times 2 is 60. Too much. All right, multiply. 30 times 1 is?
30.
30. Subtract 45 minus 30?
15.
15.
And 30 doesn't go into 15, so I'm guessing that's the remainder.
Check. I know it's a little big, but can 15 be a remainder?
Yeah.
Yes, it can.
Yes.
It's as long
it's
as it's
less.
less than
Yeah.
30, then it can be a remainder. Anything to bring down?
No.
All right, nothing to repeat. So we have a remainder of
15.
15.
0. 15.
First check is a quick check. Is our answer reasonable?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because the estimate, it's close
Because-
to the estimate.
Yes, the
It's
estimate.
close
The
to our
estimate
estimate,
is
right?
very reasonable. The estimate
Yeah, so
is very reasonable.
our estimate was 11, and our final quotient was 11, remainder 15. So I think we had a very reasonable quotient because it is very similar to our estimate. Now let's check it for real. Let's check it for real by multiplying our divisor and our quotient. So 30 times 11. Hopefully remember our Yoshi method a little
Equals
bit.
330.
Okay. So
1
what?
times 0 is 0.
0.
1 times 3 is 3.
3.
Okay. This is going good.
Drop your egg. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3.
3.
Our final answer.
330.
Wait. What about the
Ah, my marker went missing.
what about the
Sorry.
what it's called? The 15.
I know
Yes.
we're getting there.
You had to add
330.
them to get to 330. And
You
then
still have a
you add,
remainder. So you add your 15.
and you add the 15, and then you
I
get
get
345, which is what our goal was, to get our dividend of
This one.
345. So we are all set, 100% correct. That's the beauty of long division. You can actually check and make sure your answer is 100% correct. All right, let's try another one. And let's see how well we're doing with kind of that estimate step as more of a mental math step. So our equation, our new equation is 282 divided by 20. So just by seeing that 20 there, in my head, it automatically started thinking in terms of the 2 times table. That's just where my brain went, right? I'm focusing on the 2 really in the 2 times table. If I'm doing an estimate right here quickly in the corner of my board, just for my mental math skills, I see 282 divided by 20. You see it in the corner? Can you see that, or is that too small? Let's see if I can bring
I
it.
can't see it.
All right, let me make it a little bit bigger. 282.
All
right. 282 divided by 20. In my head, I know I'm focusing on the 2. And I see 2 goes into 2. So I could do 200 divided by 20. Or if you know your times tables really well, what else could you use?
You could do 28.
28. So I would accept 200 divided by 20 or 280 divided by 20. Honestly, 280 is probably going to get me closer though, right?
Probably.
Yes, yes.
What's 280 divided by 20? We're focusing on the 28 and the 2.
4.
Not 4.
1. No.
28 divided by 2 is?
Nothing.
Wait, what?
14.
14.
No.
Yes, 14. And the zeros cancel out. So 14 would be a good estimate. If you wanted to start off really small, you could also do 200 divided by 20, which would give you 10.
10.
Obviously, 14 is closer, right?
Yes, yes.
Hopefully-
14 is much
If
closer.
you didn't know 14, what's the highest you could go up to in your 2 times table?
16. 16.
Some of
18.
you probably know 20 times 12. I mean, 2 times 12, right, is 24. Either way, 200 divided by 20 is not going to get us very close. But 200 divided by 20 gives us a good estimate of 14.
Here's the thing. I've noticed that like when you're doing this, like if you choose like the bigger one, like if it could fit in,
Mm-hmm.
like always your estimate is going to be the answer, but there's gonna be a remainder.
Yeah, definitely. If you can get, that's why it's so important to know your times tables really well, because you can get your answer right away. If you were able to think, I know 28 divided by 2 in my head, then you get the answer right away and you know that you're just going to have a remainder. But good observation. All right, we have a possibility of 3 digits in our quotient. But we know from our estimate that we're definitely going to have 2 digits for sure. We're not going to be using that first box. So just to humor me, let's start with our steps. Divide. Can 20 go into 2?
No. Not at all.
Can 20 go into 28?
Yes.
Yes.
One time.
But we kind of knew that with our estimate anyways, because we know we have to have 2 digits. All right. So our answer is going to have 2 digits. We're going to start with not just any random number. We're going to start with our estimate. We thought 14 would work really well. What's the very first digit? 1.
1.
So we think a 1 should go here. Does that make sense? Can 20 go into 28 only once?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because 20 times 2 is
40.
40. Too big. So we are going to go and stick with what we got in our estimate, which was a 1. Multiply. 20 times 1, easy.
28.
20 times 1 times 1. All right, subtract. 28 minus 20.
28.
8. Yes.
8.
Check. Is 8 less than 20?
Yes.
Yes, good to go. I keep meaning to do a new color when I subtract. Sorry. Okay. Bring down that 2. And repeat. Now we have a new division problem. Sweet. All right, divide. 20 into 82 now. We can look at our estimate. Before we said that 4 would work. Let's try it. 20 times 4 equals 80. Are we going to get any closer to 82 than 80? No. So let's stick with that 4. Multiply, well, we just did. Subtract. 82 minus 80?
2.
Check. Is 2 less than 20?
Yes.
Good to go. Nothing to bring down. And we have a remainder of 2. So
Yeah, and also the remainder would just be like the would be the other number that doesn't match.
right. Now, if we had gone with our first estimate, turning the 282 to a 20, we'd probably have a little bit more work to do over here, right? Because 0 would not be a possibility. So the closer you can get with your estimate, you're going to get your answer right away, right? 14, 14, 14, 14, and we just had some remainders. So our estimate became our answer. We can definitely say that our final quotient is reasonable. It's reasonable. All right. And we know that
Jedi are better.
very close to our actual answer. I'm sorry, to our estimate. All right. Check your work.
Yes.
20 times 14.
20 times 14.
280.
We get
Okay.
0 times 4 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. Drop your egg. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. We get 280. Don't forget your remainder. 2 is 280.
That marker's dying on you.
I know, they're all dying on me. Only the black markers, because I use them so often.
Yeah,
All right.
Rip.
all the outlines are being
Rip.
And get a whole bag full of them.
I know,
so you
I
don't
do.
run out. No, I'm talking about the black ones. not
I
all
know,
the
I
blues,
have
but
a
the
whole
black
bunch of them. I got to get more. All right, let's try another one. 467, hopefully this one writes better, divided by 50.
Yeah, that one writes better. Look at that. It's
Divided
beautiful.
by 50. All right. 3 possible boxes in our answer. Let's estimate so that maybe we get the answer before we even start. All right. Putting my estimate here in the corner. 467 divided by 50. In my head, I know I'm working with what times
The
table?
first box is the family feud.
Yeah, 5 times table. Can 5 go into 4? No.
No.
We're going to look at 46.
Yes.
What is the closest number in the 5 times table?
45. 45.
45.
Nine.
Yes, 45 is the closest that we can get in the 5 times table. So I'm going to use
5
that
times
for my
9.
estimate, changing my numbers to 450 divided by 50. 45 divided by 5 is
5.
9.
9.
What?
Zeros cancel out. So our estimate is going to be 9, which
9.
means our final quotient should have
A 9. Or something close to that.
should have 1 digit and should be hopefully a 9. I don't think, even
I
from
already got
looking
the-
at my estimate, I don't think I'm going to get any closer than 9. That's for sure. All right, let's start dividing.
But wait,
we still have our
7.
What was that?
We still have our 7, so
I know, so we're going to get a remainder for sure. Yes, we're definitely going to get a remainder.
We're gonna get
All right,
Remainder is 2.
can 50 go into 4?
No.
No. Can 50 go into 46?
Yes. No. No, wait, wait.
It can't. 46 is smaller than 50, so I can't squeeze a 50 out of it if I don't have at least 50, right? So also no. But we kind of knew that because our estimate was 1 digit too, right?
Yeah.
So now we're on to the last one, 467. We're going to have to divide the entire amount. 467 divided by 50. Well, don't just guess. Use your estimate. 50 times, our estimate was 9. Let's try that. Equals 450. Are we going to get any closer than that?
No.
What's a quick way to check?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
You just add another 50 on, because 50 times 10 would give us 500. So if you're ever here and you're like, I wonder if I could get any closer, add another of your divisor on. If you can, that means that you can do you can fit one more 50 in there, right? If I add another 50, I get 500. That's too big. So 9 is going to be the closest I can get. I'm going to put my 9 up here. Multiply. Well, I just did. So I'm set. I get 450. Subtract. 467 minus 450 gives me.
But he couldn't have done it without Matt because, like, Matt pass through a rabbit, but like
Huh?
I can't actually kill
Okay.
it.
Wait, what?
What's going on?
Oh, I think Kai's on like a Zoom ascension or something because I just saw him like Mewtwo and Sin. I don't know.
All right,
No,
all right.
no. I
I'm
think Sinjin is still at Kai's house.
Like,
Or Kai's at
Okay.
Sinjin's house.
Oh, or
I
something.
have a question up here. Let's focus. 467 minus 450. Nobody's answering me.
467 divided by 50 is
Minus 50.
17.
Thank you. It should be
17.
so fast. Check.
It's the remainder.
Is 17 less than 50?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Bring down, nothing to bring down. And that becomes our remainder. So we have 9, remainder 17.
Beginning, and I still
All right.
got a 9 with.
Is our answer reasonable?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Oh,
Why
because
is it logical?
9 remainder 17 is very close to your estimate, which is 9.
Exactly.
also
All
it's a
right.
one
It's very
digit.
close to my estimate, which is 9. So let's check it 100%. Keep it 100. 50 times 9 gives us 450. Add our remainder, 17. We get 467. 467. We're in the clear.
Yay!
Not bad, right? Not that bad.
Yeah.
We're not, we're doing actual long division with double digits. Woot woot.
Go.
Well, it isn't really long division.
It's
Like if
4:67
you
o'clock,
get
everybody.
when you get the answer when you estimate.
Well, I mean, it depends how good you are with your estimation, right? It depends.
I'm not a fan of
If you
just
get-
like
For the homework?
estimating.
Miss Felice?
Yeah, but it does help.
For the homework, we're just gonna estimate and put the answer.
Or for
No, you
home-
need to find the actual answer now.
Wait, for the homework, do I have to estimate or can I just find the answer?
Oh, so you have to find the actual answer?
You're finding the actual answer.
You're
I'm
not-
telling you that with estimation, you're kind of
No.
already doing that, right?
Like to find the
Yeah.
answer? Okay, I think I understand.
Yeah, we're just finding the actual answer. Estimation just helps us get that answer right away. 413 divided by 40. Again, count up, and we know that we can have a possibility of 3 digits in our quotient because we have 3 digits in our dividend. First step, little mental math. If you can do it in your head, you're great. We're looking at the 4 times table because our divisor is 40. So we get 413 divided by 40. Again, if you could do this in your head, you're golden. I'm going to square out, box my basic facts of 4, and I'm going to also look at the 4 in the 413 and round this 413 to a 400. 400 divided by 40. Basic facts, 4 divided by 4 is
1.
1. Any zeros cancel out?
Yes, 2 of them.
2 of them. 1 0 here, 1 0 here, which means we have 1 0 to annex. Our estimate is going to be 10, which means our answer probably going to be super close to 10. Let's see. Hopefully 10 with a remainder. All right, divide. Can 40 go into 4?
No.
No. Can 40 go into 41?
Yeah.
Yes.
One exactly one thing.
Looking at our estimate, what would our first digit be?
It would be 1.
1, which was pretty common sense, right? 40 into 41. It's going to go in one time.
Oh,
All right, multiply. 40 times 1, 40. Subtract. 41 minus 40, 1. Check. Is the remainder 1 less than our divisor of 40?
Yes.
Thank you.
Except
Yes.
my squad, but with,
Bring
liquor.
down.
Wow.
Bring down the 3 and repeat, which means this becomes our brand new division problem.
I thought they said a bronze noob.
Brand new. All right.
LeBron's
Divide.
noob.
divide.
Ron.
Hopefully you remember this from previous
Brian.
chapters. Can 40 go into 13?
No.
What do
No,
I, but
it
I
only
have to
goes
put
in-
something here.
Zero.
What do I put?
It's a
A
zero.
Zero.
Zero times. 40 times zero
Remainder
is
for
Zero.
zero. Subtract 13 minus zero,
13.
13. Check, is 13 less than 40?
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing to bring
And
down,
then check your
nothing
do
to repeat, so it
multiplication.
becomes a
Remainder.
remainder.
I did
10
that.
remainder 13. Is our answer, guys, is our answer reasonable?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yes. Why?
Because it's. I don't want to answer this. Never mind. Never mind.
Everybody should know why it's reasonable.
I know. I just can't find the words. I
Who
don't
wants
know
to
why.
help me?
Because the
is our
estimate is our answer.
Right,
The estimate
it's
is
Is our
reasonable
answer.
because our actual quotient is
Okay.
very close to our estimated quotient. All right, which our estimate was 30 and our actual quotient was 10, remainder 13. All right, guys, let's check our work. 40 times 10 is 400. We know that from our mental math skills. Plus 13, which was our remainder, gives us 413, and we are good to go. Solid. How do we feel about this?
Good.
Are we
Easy.
confident with this long division? All right. Awesome. Well, since you guys got this so quickly, you have about 3 minutes for the end of the period. I'll take any questions, or if anyone needs any extra problems, I'm willing to do another problem to present. If not, if you're feeling confident with this, you can go try it on your own in the practice paper that was provided.
So we can leave now.
I'll stick around for questions. Bye, guys.